let's make something different with this gorgeous piled pockets journal. So if you want to see how to make this, then stay tuned. Okay, so what you're going to need is a bunch of pockets. So I'm taking pockets that we have made in a previous mass making, and I'm going to use these. I've picked pockets that are kind of similar colours and will coordinate nicely. And then I've also got this paper bag, which I'm probably not going to use this, but I just wanted to bring this along to just give you an idea of other alternative things that you could use incorporated in your piled pockets journal. And then you're going to want a backboard. Now, my backboard, as I'm calling it, is basically, it's 2 sheets put together. And these are both 250 GSM, they're photo paper, and they have just been stitched around on the sewing machine, as you can probably see, to give you a nice kind of stiffer piece for the back. So that's kind of your, you know, your bottom piece, if you see what I mean. And then you're going to layer your piled pockets journal up from there. And then other pieces that you might want to incorporate to kind of layer up as, you know, bigger sort of board pieces is, for example, some envelopes. Now this one's just been laying around on my desk, so this is kind of perfect really for using, because obviously it's a bit damaged and, you know, probably not going to be useful for anything else. So that will also give me quite a good roomy type board to be able to kind of make something from. So let's clear these bits out of the way for a moment, and we're just going to get kind of layering up our pieces. So I'm going to start, like I say, with my backboard, which is the 2 sheets put together. Then I'm going to just glue my envelope together. Now obviously I'm having to glue mine together because it's you know, it's fallen apart because it's been laying around on my desk. But if it hadn't been damaged, what I would just do is glue literally, glue the flap down, so that it becomes then a sort of solid piece, if that makes sense. So we're just going to, we're just going to glue that together like that. Okay. And that's going to give you a nice kind of firm base to put a pocket or something on. We're building up, like I say, we're building up layers. So then taking my other pockets, now these are undecorated pockets. Obviously you could use decorated pockets, you know, if you wished as well. Got another envelope here, so this one's intact, and I'm just going to again just glue the flap closed. Okay, so again just giving myself a nice kind of base from which to work from, so like that. Okay, now my pockets, obviously they're made from, you know, decorative papers. Some are plain on the back, some aren't. Oh, this one I haven't actually glued together, so I'm just going to assemble this by gluing it together. So just literally glue this together, and I've tried to pick a variety of different pockets so that I've got some interesting kind of looks, but in coordinating colours, so that when my journal comes together it's going to look, you know, look pretty, look matching, look deliberate, you know, look like it's been kind of made to work together. So just gluing this down here. Now obviously on the back of this one it's stark white, so I will be collaging or covering this with some paper. So just going to kind of like have a look and see what we've got. So we've got base layer, we've got an envelope. Now what I want to do is then kind of build up. Now I've got this one, which again, I've taken things that I've, you know, perhaps had in my stash and don't know what to do with. So this one, it was a mistake. So I, by accidentally stitched the piece down there. So it was supposed to be an envelope, and obviously I stitched that down by mistake. So what I've got now is I've got actually an opening here. Now I don't know whether I'm going to necessarily keep that as a pocket at the top. I may glue that shut, but I'm just going to put that on there as a potential going the other way, opening the other way. And then going size wise, I think really is the best way to do these. So kind of layering my pieces size wise, and you're going to be staggering them. So you're going to have them like left, right, left, right, left, right, so that hopefully you're going to end up with a collection of pieces which are staggered size wise and like layered on top of each other. So like that, and then probably this one. Oops, that might be bigger. Perhaps has to go there. That one and that one. Now this one probably is a step too far, to be honest, so I probably won't bother with that one. So that's what we've got so far. Now how I'm going to actually keep this in order, I have no idea. But this is how this is going to be opening. So I'm just kind of demonstrating basically how it's going to look like that. Okay, so I'm going to start by just decorating this back piece, which, to be honest, we might be able to incorporate this onto the back piece. We'll kind of see how we get on. So I've got a variety of different papers here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of collage in down, just so as I get a bit of a more interesting look going on, rather than just, you know, a sheet of blank, or not blank, but plain full paper. So just going to take this. So this is my hydrangea paper, the side that I'm gluing. And the side that's going to be showing is from my, whoops, pale damask set 2. So just going to pop that on there. Oops, like that. Okay, I'll just take my glue spreader, which has seen better days, it's got to be said, and just, yeah, pop that down there like that. Okay, and then I think we'll put bit more on, so we've just got a bit more going on here. Oops, I want to have that lady on there, so just maybe something like that there, or maybe even, yeah, maybe even have this sideways, so just so as it looks a bit more interesting, really. Okay, so this is a lovely way to use some of your pockets that you've mass made. You know, if you want to make a slightly different kind of journal, take some of your pockets that you have made and you can just make one of these, and this will turn out so, you know, so tactile and lovely. Hopefully you're going to, you know, really enjoy it and find it a really nice project to make. And I've just got some other sheets now. I just want to check how this is going to look. Yeah, I'm going to take some of this one. So again, this is from the Pale Damask, the second edition of the Pale Damask. So do we want it like that, or we could, or right, we're going to have to go down here. So I might just trim this one up actually, like there, just so it's not quite so ginormous. Okay. Just pop this one down. Okay. Like that. Yeah, I've made a couple of these. I kind of shy away from doing them. I feel like they're quite time consuming, but to be honest, they're not actually in reality. I don't know why I think that. I'm so sorry about this. I'm going to have to keep stopping the video because unfortunately, since I've pressed record, I now seem to have developed a cold. Well, I've had a bit of a cold all morning, but obviously it's not until I'm kind of, you know, having to not be sniffing or anything like that, or blowing my nose, that I've actually noticed how bad it is. You know, kind of when you're not having to do those things, you don't really notice, and, you know, of course, you're just able to do them. Right, now I'm just cutting out one of these bits just to give you a few ideas. So I'm not necessarily saying we're going to have this chap here, but just to give you a kind of illustration. So, I mean, you could just have something like that on there, for example. Or I've got a couple of decorated pockets, which, of course, you could put something like that on there. So I'm going to leave the decorating of this until a bit later on. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go through and just do some bits on the back of these, so that I'm tying in the theme kind of more throughout the piece. So I'm just going to kind of like put some collage paper on some of the other bits, so that they're then going to just match what's going on, so that the whole thing is going to then tie together and, you know, flow really nicely. So Obviously they're made, you know, the majority of these, they're made with patterned paper anyway. So of course the fronts look lovely. Some of them, the backs look lovely too. Others, you know, like for example this, it's just plain book page, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. The book page looks quite nice too. But it might just be that I feel, you know, it needs a little bit of extra, you know, patterned paper. So I'm just going to grab another tissue to mop up my glue. So there we go. And yep, let's just grab in another couple of pieces. Let's just tear this down this way, I think. Okie dokie. Just pop that there. Because, oh, I hadn't realised that it had the hydrangea paper on the back, which I maybe would have preferred the hydrangeas, but never mind. I hadn't realised that, sorry, what am I saying? It's because I'm needing to blow my nose again, so hold on 2 moments. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Right, this is obviously going to be a nuisance, isn't it, during this video, but never mind. So, yeah, once we've obviously got some pattern papers and things like that going on the backs, obviously we could then, you know, put pockets and things like that on the back of some of these as well. So we'll just kind of play it by ear, really, how we're going to finish all these bits and pieces off. So that one, I think we'll just do like that. So obviously this is all going to have a very purpley theme. Okay. And also, you know, this is going to be a brilliant project for, you know, if you've kind of made things and they've gone a bit wrong. So like, for example, this one where I've then stitched the envelope closed. What an idiot. You know, this is going to be like quite a nice way to use up things like that. So, you know, if you've got any pieces that you've perhaps messed up, this might be a nice way to use some of those things. So, I mean, that looks straight away really lovely, doesn't it? I'm going to just collage the front as well, so it's got some, you know, some matching bits on there. I've also got this damask paper, so we'll just take a bit of this. Oh, doesn't that look gorgeous with this damask? Looks very pretty, doesn't it? So I might just have to take that in a bit. So obviously, because I've stitched this down, you know, by mistake, I'm going to actually, you know, put something else on here as well, so it becomes like a base more for a pocket rather than a pocket on it, you know, in itself. Obviously, I'm going to have the top loading pocket if I don't seal that closed. So yeah, it's going to be a useful piece. Who knows, might even decide that these are worthy of making a batch, you know. Sometimes the accidents that we have develop, you know, the nicest things, don't they? Or unexpected results come from kind of mistakes. So I'm going to get rid of that one. So we'll just pop this one down now. Again, just go across there. Okie dokie. And just pop that one down. Okay. Like that. So this obviously is the reverse of the envelope, you know, where we've got the envelope flap glued down. So quite a good idea to, you know, collage over that, because obviously it's covering up, you know, that envelope. So that's quite good to do. This one maybe have a bit of the hydrangea papers, I think. So like this. You know, hopefully we're going to get a beautiful eclectic mix of papers and stuff going on in here as well. So it'll be really like lovely to look through and look at. So like that. Oops, not my scissors flying. Very annoying. I haven't had a cold for absolutely ages. And yeah, I was just saying to my mum the other day how obviously since I no longer work in an office, you know, I've had way less colds. So, you know, obviously working in an office was just the worst thing I could possibly be doing. You you know, for catching germs and things, because I constantly used to have colds all the time, and then I just could not shake them off, because I presume, you know, I was going back into like a germy environment, and then of course just picking up more germs, and I could just never ever shake things off. You know, I'd get rid of one cold, or you know, it would just start going, and then I'd come out with another one. So I always thought it was the same one, just, you know, I couldn't shake it off. And now I kind of think, well, actually I probably was shaking it off, but as I was shaking it off, I was just then catching more, you know, more fresh germs. So yeah, I think it was that really more. Okay, so yeah, that looks nice. And I mean, obviously these are just collaging up the you know, the bases, if you see what I mean. So I mean, they're not going to obviously stay looking like this. We're going to do more with them further in. So just take that, glue that down there. Okay. So yeah, great scrap buster as well for obviously collaging the backs of all these bases. You know, you could use a whole bunch of scraps and things to do these. So, and they turn out, when these are done, they turn out very tactile and yeah, kind of like squishy, just lovely. They feel literally like a pile of stuff, you know, that you found on somebody's desk, which, oh, is just yummy, 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 yummy. Right, maybe I'll have a bit of this. Okay. Yep. Okie dokie. Okay. So, I mean, it does look pretty, doesn't it, already? You know, these combination of colours and papers just look lovely together, to be honest. And that's before we've actually made anything with it. So now I'm going to leave that side, but we might end up collaging it. You know, we'll just kind of play it by ear and see. So that one. And then just need to cover the back of this. So rather than, you know, dilly-dally, I'm going to try and cover this. Oh, I was going to say all in one sheet, but might not have enough left now on any of these sheets. Oh, well, isn't that just typical? Okay, well, I've got quite a bit of that covered, so let's just go around here. Just take that down. So I'm kind of thinking, you know, if I put that like that, I've covered the majority. I can just fill in that little space. So let me just move this here. Move that with it, I think. Yep. Just then go around here. Okay. It's really fun and nice to do something different, isn't it? And you know, these are a brilliant kind of quick, easy project that you can get done in one sitting. You know, sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but when we make a journal, you know, it's a kind of like labour of love, and it really is a very mammoth task, isn't it, to get a whole journal done. Whereas this, you know, you could do this in an afternoon, and, you know, then you've got a complete project in an afternoon, which feels lovely, as opposed to sometimes a journal that, you know, definitely can take several days. I mean, sometimes, you know, sometimes a week or more, depending on how flamboyant the journal is. So yeah, these kind of projects are quite nice to be able to achieve in, you know, a shorter period of time. So I'll just cut that around there. Okie dokie. Like that. And I will just fill in this corner. I was going to leave it, but no, I'll fill it in. Okay, I've just dug out a couple more papers, because otherwise I think we're going to come to a point where we're running out of paper. So yeah, let's just quickly take this just to fill in this corner. Okay. And the other thing is, I mean, not only are we making these look very pretty on the back, you know, by covering them with the papers, but I mean, also we are reinforcing the pieces. So, you know, for example, this pocket here, oops, although was quite thick at the bottom, because obviously you've got the, you know, the actual pocket itself, the top was just a sort of single sheet of the 250 GSM paper. So this is kind of then reinforcing that, as well as making it look really pretty. So like a double use. Okay, so that one, put that there. Okay, then we've got another envelope here, so we can obviously then collage up the envelope. Okie dokie. Oops, again, just take that down slightly on the side. Like that. These are those envelopes that, if you watched recently, I'd bought, and then they're wonky. So I might switch this over so that the wonky bit, which is this edge here, is at the top, and then I can cut the top off to form some sort of pocket. Otherwise it might look really strange. Somebody did say to me that she wondered whether that was done on purpose for, you know, when you've got like a bulky card going in them, that she said sometimes they're wonky to allow for, you know, allow for the sort of bulky cards. I don't know whether that's right, or whether these were a what's the word, you know, like a malfunction. Not a malfunction, what's that word? Oh my goodness, what's the expression, you know, like if something's oh gosh, what's the word? Like a defective piece. Well, I don't think that's the word, but I can't think now. What is the word I'm looking for? Oh gosh, honestly, just cannot think for the life of me what the correct terminology is for that. Anyway, who knows? Could be a defective, let's just call it defective piece. Seconds, like a seconds. What's the expression for that? Oh my goodness, what is the expression? Well, let's just call it a seconds, you know, where they're not quite made as they should be. Okay, pop that on there. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I said before, we're just getting an absolutely gorgeous combination of bits, aren't we? I mean, look at those pile of papers there. They look so pretty, don't they? Just all of those lovely, wonderful colours. So, you know, and that's without having anything else done to them at all. They just look beautiful, don't they? So, yeah, let's put that one on there. So I've got a whole different selection of papers going on here. Some of my roses collection, the French collection papers, the pale damask. I think I've got some rich damask, got some lavender, all sorts of papers going on here. This is the Paris bouquet papers. So yeah, a whole bunch of different papers going on. There we go. Right. Okay, so I might collage up some more on there. I don't know. This one, obviously, it's a patterned piece the whole way round, so I might not bother, you know, collaging anything further on there. So we've got those, and then this side we've got these. So just see, no, they're all quite patterned on the back. The only one that maybe I could do with tweaking really is this one, because this is one of those stapled pockets. So just rather than have these staples on here, I'll just collage up and just, you know, cover up some of those staples. So like that. Okay. So I'll just pop that one down on there. Yep. I mean, I don't really mind the staples, but, you know, they're not everybody's cup of tea, are they? So if we can cover them up a little bit, then probably that's just good thing to do. Okay, like that. So I've got a bit of lumpiness going on there, but that's fine. It will probably be covered up when we actually come to, you know, decorate this and embellish it and things like that. So, you know, it's not the end of the world if you're thinking, oh gosh, that looks rubbish. You know, she's got some lumps and bumps going on. I don't think that's really going to be the end of the world come, you know, come decorating anyway. So let's just pop this one down. Okay. Right. Put that there. Like that. Okay, oops. Just glue that down. Okay, right. Press that on the staples. Okay, right. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually punch my holes so that I remember the order that everything's going in, because I think, you know, you are at a risk of potentially kind of, you know, forgetting the order that this goes in, and then when you stick your decorative pieces on, then obviously what you can do is end up, you know, that you put your holes through you know, what you've decorated with. So just going to put these down like this. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Right. Now what you want to do is make sure that you've got your holes going through all of your pieces. So obviously, really, I want to have my smallest piece is going to govern where I need my holes. So this piece here is going to govern where the holes need to go, if you see what I mean. So taking that like that, and then using the big holes rather than the small ones. I will just move this in, although to be honest, my crocodile is not great in that that piece moves along very easily, slides along very easily. So the chances are it won't really stay where it is. I'm probably going to have to judge by eye. So there we go. Like that. Woo. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to use this as my template on the back piece. So I'll just take my one of these, use as my template on the back. For example, there. Oops, there. For where I need my holes to go on that back piece. So, I mean, you could obviously start with your back piece. The only thing that I would say is obviously be mindful of your smallest piece. So that's why I started with my front, you know, with my smallest piece. So, you know, it's up to you how you do this. But if you're going to work from your back, just be careful that your holes aren't like, say, there and there, because then you're not going to even encapsulate or incorporate your smallest pieces. So again, I'm going to take these pieces. Now that's probably quite a thick bundle to have there. So I'm going to just have to do it in 2 batches. So I'm going to take those like that. Again, I'm going to be governed by this, which is my smallest piece. So I'm going to just put it here and pop my holes in. One. And then this one. That. Okay, that's it. And then take my smallest piece there, and I want to just go in now on my envelope, which we haven't cut the envelope open yet, so must remember that I want to do that. Just take this down. Oops, like that. Punch our holes. 1, 2. And then again, just want to go in on the back piece and now do them. Okay, so then pick up my backboard and then, yep, just line up my, oops, my holes there. Oops, if I poke my piece of paper out so that I can actually see through here to see where the holes are. Oops, one like that, and then the other one. Okay. Like that. Okay, so I've got all my holes done. So now I'm just going to cut open a couple of my envelopes that I want to have as top loading pockets. And again, you know, this is all optional. And to be honest, you know, you might come to the point where your piece is too bulky and you can't really fit things into the pockets and things, and that's fine. But like, oh gosh, making a terrible job of my cutting again. Like we always say about putting things down as pockets on the fronts of things, if you don't, you know, cut your tops open and things like that here, then you don't even have the option of using them as a pocket. So, you know, obviously you don't have to use them as a pocket, but having the option is always like a good thing to do, isn't it? So like that, and then this one, you just want to cut the top open here, so straight across the top. Oh my goodness, again, very wonky. I mean, I said, didn't I, about, oh, let's put the wonky bit at the top, so we're going to be cutting that open and making it just as wonky as it was in the beginning. Oh my goodness, not getting any better. Okay, well, hopefully that's okay. I mean, by the time we decorate it and things, it, you know, it won't really notice, to be honest. So that's fine. Right, so that's my pieces there. So now I'm going to take some sari silk to just literally attach all of these bits together. So what we want to do, I'm going to take, yeah, I think some ivory sari silk. Make it pointy to be able to put it through the pocket, the holes. So just going to feed it through. Oh my goodness, come on. Feed it through all my pieces. Now, I don't know what I would describe this as. There's probably an official name for it, but I don't know what it is. But instead of going through top and bottom like we would perhaps, you know, when we're, I don't know, stitching a journal or something like that, then what we're going to do is we are going to tie this off here to the side. So it gives more freedom to be able to turn your pages. If you put this, you know, through top and bottom, your pages can become quite tight to maneuver about. If you do it like this, so, you know, a tie at the top and a tie at the bottom, oops, you're going to find your pages are much more easily flippable and turn overable. So now you'll notice that I've done this quite big. You know, my loop is quite big. That's because obviously we're going to be embellishing and, you know, putting bits and pieces on our pockets. So, I mean, the chances are this is going to get quite, not bulky exactly, but filled out. You know, it's going to puff up. So you want to make sure that you've got room enough to put pieces in and be able to still turn the pages. So now you could do this at the end. Again, the reason why I'm doing this now is just because it will just help me with my, you know, remembering that it's going to be bound, if that makes sense. So, you know, I could have obviously done this at the end, but I may have then put my pockets and things down in the wrong places. So, you know, where it's then going to interfere with how it turns. Whereas if your pieces are already bound in, you know, and I mean, your binding is, you know, it's just literally tying some sari silk round. Again, if you don't have sari silk, I mean, you could use twine for this, you could use ribbon for this, anything you like. You don't have to use the sari silk. I just, you know, I quite like the look of the sari silk and I'm lucky enough to have some. But you don't have to use sari silk. So, like that. And that one. Oops. Just noticed that paper didn't look very well glued down, so I'll just quickly glue that down a bit. Okay. And then this one. I mean, to be honest, this is probably the fiddliest part of the whole process. So, you know, once you've done this, it's all uphill from there because you're then going to be decorating and just doing lots of wonderful you know, wonderful fun bits and pieces on here. So there we go. Oh dear, I nearly lost it through the front there. Did you see? Right. Again, put that down. Pull my sari silk through. Okay. Like that. So, I mean, you might want to move your pieces in a bit like that, just so as you make sure that you give yourself the space that you need to allow for, you know, good turning room. Okay, tie that up. Okay, so snip that off. Right, I'm just going to get another piece of sari silk because obviously I've run out now. Oops, hold on. Okay. Right. So last piece to bind is this one. Okay, see if I can go through these two at a time just to save a bit of time. Yep. So yes, and then no. Okay, that one. And then final one is that one. Okay. So again, just use that top one as a guide. Pull it, you know, pull it forward kind of like that. Oops. And then obviously you know, that's just telling me where to knot it off. So just knot it there. Okay. Right. Okay. So now what you've got is your whole journal bound, and you know, obviously don't forget your pieces are going to go in like this on top of one another. So isn't that just gorgeous? Now we've not even decorated that or anything, but straight away, doesn't that look beautiful? It's absolutely lovely, isn't it? Okay, so I've dug out some bits and pieces to decorate our little folio with. So I've got some clusters here, and I've got some pieces here, you know, that we could use as pockets and things. I've got this gorgeous little, I don't know what we called these, but a little postage stamp banner. So we're just going to go through and we're just going to decorate up all of these wonderful, yummy surfaces that we've got here. So like I say, you can obviously incorporate bits that are, you know, already decorated, like the pockets that we showed just now. You can obviously then pop on, you know, little pockets and things. We could pop on like some decorative elements like this. So I mean, to be honest, I just, you know, popped that down 2 seconds flat, but that looks really pretty, doesn't it? So let's just ink this up. Now I didn't ink any of the pieces before I've actually put them down. I don't mind that. I'm going to just leave them uninked, I think. Also got here some genuine vintage lace, so I'm going to incorporate some of this, I think, in here because I think this is going to look really lovely. So let's just take off those seam type bits. Okay, so now I'm going to, I think, put this here. Oh, I can just hear Bo. She's yep, she's on her way to join us. Oh, please excuse the back of this. Hello, gorgeous. Come on then, sweetie. Come on, darling. Come on in. What's this? Nope, she's got as far as the door and then she's decided to give it a miss. Okay. I'll just pop that one down like that, I think. Okay, and then yeah, I think that looks quite pretty there. Just got a little bit of white lace, which should we have it there or should we have it like here? Oh, perhaps like that. And it's pretty, doesn't it? So yep, and this is going to obviously hold the lace in place, so like that. Okay. Oh my goodness. I mean, doesn't that just look absolutely gorgeous? So you've got then a pocket here. I mean, you could tuck something in here, like a little tuck spot as well. You know, up to you really. But yeah, you could have kind of multiple surfaces going on. Now I might just quickly ink a little bit. I should have inked this obviously prior to binding it, but yeah, I totally forgot, if I'm truthful. But I don't mind. I don't even mind it not being inked, to be honest. It looks really pretty anyway. So I don't even think it necessarily needs to be inked. But yeah, we'll just ink it a bit. So okay, like that. And then I also have got a couple of those Rita Donnelly corner pockets, which I thought we might be able to incorporate somewhere. So I'm wondering whether we could have these maybe on here. Oh, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Because it's actually like the wrong way, if you see what I mean. It's covering up the patterned paper. I mean, we could even have them as a, whoops, right, that way. A corner tuck in the top corner. That would be okay. Could do that. And what would I want down here? Let's just see. Could have something like that. Now I've got a couple of ready decorated pockets, like I say. So, I mean, we could have something like that going on. Or that one. What do we think looks nicest here? About that. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? I'm not sure whether this is the right pocket. It's obviously, you know, it's got the blue on it, so let's try that one instead. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Yeah, let me just check that we want that. Got a few bits here. These are all from my vintage desk collection papers. So yeah, there's quite a few that I've got ready cut out. So we could incorporate any one of these as a little pocket, to be honest. I think they all look quite nice, don't they? Yeah. Okay, so let's just pop this down here at the bottom, I think. So just put a bit of lace. Bit of lace coming out, I think, beneath there. Oh, that one's got one of those Rita Donnelly pockets on there, look. Hadn't realised that. I'm actually wondering whether I might prefer a longer bit of lace. So let's just try this instead. Yeah, I think probably this lace looks slightly better on there. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I might just put this on as more like a belly band. Then we could put something going through the middle of this. So 1, 2, like that. Want to have it going over that lace so as it holds it down like that. So straight away there on that back, you know, this back base, we've now got a belly band there. So you've got, you know, a bit of journaling space here. Oops. Oh. If I hadn't glued it down, that is. Oh, there we go. Right. Bit of journaling space here, and then you've got obviously a little pocket here, and you've got a belly band. So straight away you've got quite a bit there. This one, now I'm thinking perhaps I should put a different pocket on there. Let me just see what I've got in my stash. Hold on. Okay, so I've dug out a couple more bits. I've got a cup of tea now. So yeah, let's use this one here. And I'm just going to put it like that, I think. So I'm not going to use the Rita Donnelly pocket. So we'll just pop that one on. And again, let's just have a little bit of lace. Maybe even down that edge there. Something like that. Now I'm just wondering whether I want a bit more collage paper going in, so I might just put a little bit on that edge. Okay. Actually, now I'm thinking, instead of rounding it, just do it more straight, and then it can go, you know, more will be visible. That makes sense. So let's just pop this one down Okay, so yeah, pop that on in there. Okay, just a bit of inking as well, like that. And then, yeah, that can go there. Just kind of finishes that off a little bit more, doesn't it? So now, what did I do with that vintage lace, I wonder? Can't now see that anywhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So could possibly have a little bit of that maybe coming out here. Shall we have it at the bottom? Oh, probably at the bottom looks better actually. So yeah, something like that. So pop that there. I'm just going to pop this down on 3 sides with the hot glue. So oops, like that. Okay, like that. Oops. Okay, right. Okay, that looks pretty. So that's our first kind of, you know, like 3 sides, if you like. They're all done now. You know, I might come back and put some more bits, maybe some butterflies or something like that, or some bling or something. But essentially they're, you know, they're looking quite pretty, aren't they? So then turning in, we've obviously got this side, so we can just ink up a little bit. Like I say, I mean, in hindsight, really, I should have probably inked this before I found it. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's still fine. I think I wasn't really intending on inking it, if I'm truthful. So, yeah, I don't know quite why I then ended up getting into the inking. But anyway, I did. That's fine. So, yeah. Okay, so that's those sides. I'm going to leave this open so that I can get to these 2. Okay, so I've got this pocket here. I'm going to put onto here. I've just got a little labely type piece, so this is just from that vintage desk collection. I'm going to put that down there, and then on this side here we could have this. It's a bit ginormous and actually probably too big because it would have to go over these, which would then obviously prevent it being able to move very well. We could just have a cluster or something like that, or I've got some flippy pad which I've made previously. That would fit on there quite well. So I'm going to have that, I think. So I'm just going to trim this down slightly so that it fits on here a little bit better. Just so that it doesn't kind of compromise where it's, you know, where it has to move. So we'll just go down there. Just, oops, move that lace out of the way. Okay, that's much better, isn't it? Because then that just fits on there just like that. And then do we want any lace coming out from under here or anything? Let's just see. So we could have it like that. Yeah, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Like a layered lace kind of section. So we'll just pop this label down like that. Okie dokie. And we'll just have this lace here. I'm just going to trim this down slightly on that edge. Okay. That there, and yeah, we'll have this on top. So, and again, I'm going to do this like a side loading pocket, I think. So it is one of those stapled ones. So I just need to be bearing that in mind, you know, that the staples could be, you know, things could get caught on them a bit. From that point of view, it might be better as a top loading pocket, just because obviously from ease of putting things in. But I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to just go for it with a side loading, I think. So just again, glue that down. I'm just using my hot glue because it's nice and quick. And obviously in this particular instance, it's going down on top of that lace anyway. So it's also going to be, you know, good for getting it to go through the multiple surfaces. So there we go. Just get that little bit of glue out there. Oops. Like that. Oh, I mean, how gorgeous does that look? Absolutely lovely. So then for this one, I'm just going to literally put this little flippy pad down over on the other pocket. So there, like that. Okay. Okay, so that all looks really good, doesn't it? So then we go in this side, and we've got obviously these two sides now to decorate. So just pull in and see what things we've got here. I mean, that looks gorgeous actually, doesn't it, to be honest? Again, this is just from that vintage desk, so I might just use that as just a little pocket there. Could even have a little cluster or something at the side. I don't know whether it needs it actually, but maybe we'll have something on the front of here, because this is that one where I'd messed it up, you know, was supposed to be the envelope and then obviously turned out not an envelope at all because I'd stitched it closed. Okay, so for this one I've got these couple of little bits here. I've got this one from the Avery collection. I can't remember, I think it's from the Avery blue collection. And then I've got this from my Victorian London collection papers. So these look quite pretty layered together like that to form like two top loading pockets. So yeah, I think that works quite well. Now, do we want some lace or anything coming out at the bottom? I mean, I just always love a bit of lace. I've just got this gathered lace, so I'm just going to cut it down and take the header off. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. My cold is really coming out now, so that's really annoying. Yeah, very, very annoying. So I do feel fine, but yeah, it's just annoying, to be honest, because very inconvenient. Okay, so something like that. So I'm going to glue this down first. Like that, okay. So in there. Okay. Take my tissue and dab that out. Okie dokie. Oh dear. Okay, and then this one I'm going to just have at the bottom. Now, do we want that with the, you know, jaggedy lace or kind of the torn edge? I'll probably like that. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. So I'm going to again use the hot glue for this, just because obviously it's going down over the lace. So, okay. Like that. And yep, just glue that one down like that. Okay. That looks pretty. Okay, maybe even have a butterfly or something fluttering around on there as well. So, oh, should we have a blue one? Yeah. Now I'm not sure. Hold on. Yeah, I think maybe this one. Okie dokie. Oops. Okay, nearly done. Okay. Right, just ink that up a bit. Okay. Up there. Okay, dokie, and I wonder if I've got any more of those purple labels, which would look quite pretty down there, wouldn't they? Just have a look through. Nope. No, I have got, however, little blue ones. Oh, they look quite grey on there, don't? Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Because on the, you know, on the paper, they look quite blue. It's only because this is right next to this purpley colour. It doesn't really look blue at all. That's weird. Oh, I don't want that anyway, because it's kind of the same as this. I need to really print some more labels from my labels set, and then it wouldn't be a problem. Okay, so I then have dug out this blue lace, because I thought, although we're going for this pink and purpley theme, because we've got the blue from the bird here, and now obviously the butterfly, I think maybe just having this one striking, you know, very different looking page is going to look really pretty. Oops. It's going to look really pretty. So just see how that would look. Obviously this is like a faux flap on here, because obviously it's not really an envelope now that I stuck it shut, or stitched it shut. Oh, how about that? That looks pretty, doesn't it? Don't know what I'm going to do with this actually. Well, I might have this on the front. Yeah, I might have this on the front sort of cover. So I'm going to just glue, just glue the lace down. It's quite a thickish lace. Whoops. So just put quite a bit of glue on there. Okay. Yeah, and then we're going to have that like that, I think. So like that, or further over. Weirdly, I think I prefer it further over. Strange. So yeah, have it sort of there instead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, no, what's going on? Just pulled up the lace a little bit. Okay. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look gorgeous? Yeah, love that. Oh, that's annoying. Look, I've used one of those on the both sides. I hate when I do things like that, to be honest, because I don't like really having the same things, you know, next to each other. It looks unimaginative, I always think. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, I'm cross with myself now for doing that. I wonder whether I could pick this off. Oh, it's not going to want to come off very well. Oh dear. I'm just ruining it. Oh dear. Let's try here. Oh, this is not going well. Right, let me take the lace off, and then I might be able to get it off a bit better. Oh my goodness, look at what I've done. I've totally destroyed that really, but it will be okay. Right, now I've got all this vellum stuck all over the lace. I mean, I will put something on the lace, and obviously need to now, because look at the state of it. Oh my gosh, looks terrible. Right, oh my goodness. Well, I do always say that I prefer the lace all, you know, roughed up, don't I? Don't like it all looking immaculate and new, so it's definitely not looking immaculate and new now. Okay, right, pop that back on there. Don't know yet what I'm going to put there, but I'll have to find something. Okay, finished my tea. That's one less thing on the desk. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about what to put here. I'm not sure yet, but I'll have to find something. So yeah, that's that one. Right, let's put this on this side. Okie dokie. Yeah, that looks pretty, doesn't it? Oh, do you know, I thought that was part of the same pocket. So I actually haven't got as much room on here as I thought. So yeah, I'm going to have to put it over, because otherwise I'm running out of space. So I'm just going to put this down. Oops, please excuse the back of this. Obviously I've been using it to print other things. Just going to put it down on 3 sides like that. Okay. Right, okay, so that's on there like that. Okay. Just dab out that glue. Okay. So we could have even some sari silk or something on there. Let's just try this. I mean, literally, I'm just looking around on my desk and seeing what, you know, what might just coordinate or go. Obviously, my desk being my desk, I've got a lot of things here you know, laying around. So yeah, plenty of things that I can grab. Okay, let's just go across here. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay, right, let's just snip that off like that. Yeah, that looks pretty, doesn't it? And then again we go over, so that one, and then obviously that would be over there. So I'm going to finish decorating this up because obviously I feel like, you know, I've dragged on quite a long time, and obviously I have to keep stopping the video to blow my nose. So I don't know how long I've been filming for, but I'm going to stop the video here, and then I will come back and we will have a look through the total, you know, finished piece. So hopefully, you know, you're feeling filled with inspiration and love the, you know, the bits that we've done so far. And yeah, hope that you feel inspired to make one of these piled pockets journals. Something a little bit different, something, you know, just like I say, can, you know, fit into an afternoon and, you know, do a complete project in quite a, you know, reasonable kind of length of time. So yeah, hope that you like it, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, so I'm back. It's the next day. So yep, finished it all, and it's all stuffed and all assembled now. So this is how it obviously looks, and yep, I've just kind of bound it round with some sari silk. So let's do a quick flip through of this yummy piled pockets kind of journal. Now this is where I'm talking about the you know, sides that you want to have kind of slightly bigger, is because you can see they're now actually, I'm not saying tight, but you know, they are certainly kind of at their capacity, perhaps I would say. In hindsight, I possibly put one or two too many pockets in here. It probably would work better with just two less, if I'm truthful. But I obviously got carried away. So yeah, it's quite easy to get carried away. Obviously a way around it would just be to, you know, make your sari silk even more, you know, lengthy than this. Anyway, going off at a tangent here. So right, the front cover, as I would call it, so is the front pocket. And obviously I've just popped a cluster on here, a butterfly with a little gem and a little rose, and then tucked in I just put some genuine ephemera. This is dated 1903, I think that says, although to be honest it's quite hard to read it. It could be 1900, could be 1905, who knows. But yeah, very gorgeous, isn't it? Look at that lovely writing. Everyone's lost the ability to write like that, haven't they, these days? Well, I mean, I never had the ability to write like that, but yeah, it's gorgeous writing, isn't it? So that just then slips into the front pocket. And then going over, I've got a pocket here. I actually didn't put anything in it because, to be honest, it was all becoming quite, you know, quite stuffed anyway. But there is a little pocket there. Perhaps something flat could go in there. Obviously, I've just popped on this one of my Vintage Lady journal cards. And then I've just put a label there from the Vintage Desk, and this also. Then on the front of here, just put a bit more of that blue lace, one of my little coloured book plates, one from the Victorian London, and a butterfly with a gem. Again, I didn't put anything in that pocket because for the same reason. But in the top pocket, I've again put in another piece of genuine vintage ephemera. This is dated 1916. And this one's really a good piece of journaling space because obviously you've got the entire surface here, plus obviously all of that on the back. So that one just goes in there like that. You could probably kind of tear that other blank page off, to be honest, and fold it and put it into these pockets if you wanted. This on the back, I've just popped a cluster, and that's acting as a tuck spot. Another piece of genuine ephemera. No date or anything on that. It's just kind of like a receipt or something like that. I actually can't really read, but I think it says gross something received. Yeah, I'm not sure what that says. Received something, and then it's got the amount there. But again, gorgeous pen. So that just tucks into there. And then here, I just decorated just with some sari silk and some lace, a little butterfly, and just popped in a little sort of journaling card there. And then going over the page, we've got a pocket here with some lace and a butterfly and a gem. And then I just did a little flippy kind of pad. It's got some vintage ephemera and then some other little papers and things and some lace. That just all tucks in like that. Oops, I've popped the lace out just because actually, you know, it gets a bit crinkled when you put it in. So this one was that envelope pocket. So we've got a pocket here. Don't forget you do have journaling space there in the Rita Donnelly kind of flips. So again, just popped in some vintage ephemera. This is dated 1891, so super old, this one. It's got almost like a fairy kind of feel. I know that sounds weird, but you know when the paper goes a little bit kind of weird. Yeah, so it feels very, very nice. And that goes in there. Sari silk at the top. Just popped in a journaling card into there. Just, oops. Goes in like that. And then here, turning the page over, we've got obviously another Rita Donnelly flip. Another journaling card, just a piece there from the vintage desk, some lace. There we go. And then here we've got that other pocket. Again, just finished it off with this gorgeous cluster and some of the vintage lace. I mean, it just looks so pretty, doesn't it? Those colours, they're kind of like, I don't know, atmospheric and sultry. It just looks really, really lovely, doesn't it? And then just tucked into the top, I just put a printable there and it's just been slightly inked on the back. That just goes in like that. And then here we've got a pocket with again some more vintage ephemera. This is just a little scrappy kind of piece. These types of pieces are from the ephemera packs that I sell in my shop, the little ephemera fragment scrap packs. Yeah, no date from what I can see on here, but yeah, again, very, very cute. And that just goes in like that. Some sari silk. And then here we've got a pocket here. There is also a pocket here, but I didn't put anything in there. And again, I've just done a little scrappy. So these are some vintage pieces of just blank paper and then some vintage document. And then just another little topper piece there and some lace. Looks very pretty. That just goes, oops, into there like that. And then going over the page, this is that flippy pad, which we did together, obviously, during the video. Got, you know, room there that you could put another kind of just plain coffee dyed piece or something as journaling space, or you could obviously journal onto here. And then you've got some sari silk down there. This has got a wax seal. And then this was that one with that pocket, which I'd stitched by accident. So, yep, we've got a pocket here, which I just popped in a little kind of booklet just from some vintage fly sheet. And then I just put a little bit of printable from my tea collection papers and then just some vintage document just stapled onto the front like that. That goes in there. Doesn't this just look so pretty? And I just obviously finished that off with a butterfly to the side. And then here, again, another little piece of vintage document. Now, I have to say, this has got a vintage pin in it. If you can see that, it's quite rusted because obviously it is genuine vintage, which I loved. But just be careful, whoever kind of obviously purchases this, because obviously it is a pin. So it's a little bit sharp, obviously. So just be careful. But yeah, I thought that was lovely. And I wanted to include the pin because, you know, I think that looks pretty cool, to be honest, in there. But just note that obviously it is sharp. So then I finished this off. This was that bit that I'd obviously had to peel off that piece, which I wasn't happy with. And then, yeah, I had to cover up obviously what was there. So I just put on this gorgeous bit with the kibosh on. And then going over the page, it's a top loading pocket. And I popped in some vintage document, which, excuse me, is dated 1898. Very, very thin paper. I don't know whether this is that onion paper. I've heard it called, I don't know whether it's that. But it's very thin and very lovely. Listen to that noise. Yummy, yummy. So that just goes like that and tucks in at the top. Oh, like that. And then obviously we did the, Oh, so sorry, this is hard to get to, obviously, whilst I'm trying not to put my head in the camera by tucking it in. Right, so there we go. And then here we've got a pocket which we did together and popped in a couple of little printable journal cards. Then here we've got the pocket just popped on a tag. It's not decorated or anything, tiny tag, and you could just gesso over the back or something to write on there. That just goes in there, got a gorgeous cluster and stuff. And then tucked in the side, again, another piece of vintage ephemera. This one's got like a postage stamp on it. I love it when you get the postage stamps on the ephemera. I don't know why they used to do that. I mean, I presume they didn't post it like this. Who knows? Yeah, if you know, why did they put postage stamps on the actual kind of pieces of documents? You know, did they get posted out like this? I don't know. Yeah, if you know why that would be, let me know, because I love it when you find pieces with the postage stamps. Can't see a date on here. Just looking, yeah, I can't see a date, but again, it's that gorgeous, very thin paper, so it feels absolutely lovely. And that just tucks into the side. Oops, I'll tuck it in this way because it's easier to tuck in, obviously, on the folded edge rather than this edge with all the loose pieces. And then going over the page, we've got this one here, which we glued down like a pocket at the side. So I've just got this piece of ephemera tucked in there. And then ties up here, and then you've got journaling space all in here, and you've got two pockets. So the first one, just tuck that in, and the second one just again did another little flippy pad just from some more sheets of blank page, and then some more from my tea collection papers there. So that just tucks in like that. Again, I'm just going to leave that lace kind of out on the top. That just ties up there, and then, oops, ties up like that. And then on the very base piece, so the, you know, the baseboard, as I would call the baseboard, we've got here a pocket, and I just tucked in a piece of, you know, printable ephemera there. You've got a read on leaf flip, so you've got journaling space here. And then also we glued this on like a belly band, so tucked into the section at the back, I just did a little fold out piece. Again, this is some, I think this was vintage fly sheet. So you've got journaling space there, and then on the front I just stapled on, this is from my, I think it's the large birdhouse papers, which I absolutely love those papers. So that's there, and then I've just got some vintage documents stapled on as well, just for sort of interest, and obviously you've got then more journaling space. So, you know, you can always deconstruct these bits and, you know, use them in collages and things like that, or of course journal on them, you know, as you wish. So yeah, I really hope that you like it. Obviously when you fold it in, you can kind of like play around and see how suits you best, but you know, obviously the intention really was to like fold in alternate sheets like this, and they kind of stack up. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's up to you, and yeah, hope that you like it. It's something a little bit different, very, very cute and tactile, like I say, and you know, all just neatly stacked up there like a yummy, yeah, yummy paper stack. So I really hope that you feel inspired. Love to see what you make if you decide to make one of these, so please share your pictures on Instagram, on the Facebook group and things like that. So yeah, let us know kind of how you get on. So really love to hear your comments in the chat below, and obviously this one will be for sale in my shop on my website, and yeah, obviously all the papers that I use, they're available on my Etsy shop. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks then, bye.